Good day, mates. Greetings from where am I? I'm in Tamworth, Australia. And I tell you how it is, but I really haven't seen much of it other than my apartment and the inside of the Mexican restaurant. This is the country music capital of Australia. They have the biggest country music festival outside of Nashville in the world. And hmm, hmm, oh boy, that's good. That's really, really, really good. And what would a country music capital be without a Mexican restaurant? And you know what? I'm eating. This is a vegetarian. It's a vegetarian burrito. And I got to tell you, I was driving today the 4 hours from Nelson Bay to I was driving from Nelson Bay to uh, Tamworth, and I was listening for a while. I was listening to the Buck Sexton show. The politics about how America's going to hell in a handbasket and all this crap. And I'm just driving through some of the most beautiful scenery, some of the absolute most beautiful scenery, rolling hills, grazing cattle, horses, just spectacular scenery. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing listening to politics? Why would I be listening to politics? And I decided to go over to Audible, and I turned on the book How Not to Diet. And I got to tell you, as far as books that I've read over the years, How Not to Diet is probably one of the most fascinating books that, at least as far as I'm concerned, How Not to Diet is probably one of the more interesting, fascinating listens or reads or whatever that you could possibly want to have. It's just so much wealth of information. And they were talking. Today they were talking about uh, eating meat. Eating meat, chicken, poultry, beef, all that kind of stuff, and all the research and everything that goes into it. And that's what I was thinking about when I went into the Mexican restaurant. I'm driving down Main Street here in Tamworth, and I'm finding myself, I see the Mexican restaurant, and I think, oh boy, Mexican restaurant. How good could it get? And and I walked in the door, and I remembered listening to How Not to Diet, and it's been a week. It's been a week now, over a week since I've had any meat. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to break that now. I'm going to stick with it, and I'll get the vegetarian burrito. And look at this. But anyway, but that's not the big news. Okay. I wonder what this looks like if I turn this off. There you go. You don't need that. I don't need that light. So here's the big news. I'm sitting there working today. After I checked into my apartment, I was doing a little bit of work. I was getting Andre all set up with her next gig, for her to wake up here in a couple hours and start her next gig. And I'm sitting there, and I go to check my email, and guess what was in my inbox? An email from the Aussie government. That's right, the Aussie government. Dear Mr. Hall, we are pleased to let you know that we are granting you your visa. So that's it, folks. I'm an Aussie. I am an Aussie. I can now go to a football game. Football game? Yeah, football game. I can go to a football game with Carlo and go, Aussie, 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 oi, 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 and it'll take on a whole new meaning because I'm an Aussie. The government has granted me my visa, and I can stay here. Now it's 1 year from the time that I arrived, so I can stay in Australia now legally until the end of February 2021. I can ride out 2020. I can ride out 2020 in the Land Down Under. And then after the Land Down Under, you see, I'm a planner. I like to plan it all out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hope, I'm optimistic that this whole pandemic thing is going to be behind us by the end of the year or whatever, that there'll be a vaccine. And then what I'm hoping for is in late February, when my visa runs out here, I'm hoping to jump on a plane and fly to New Zealand and do Lake Wanaka in the autumn, but 1 year later. But no, there's more. What I want to do is I want to fly my lovely Savannah from Brazil. Meet me in New Zealand, you know? Wasn't there a movie, Meet Me in Seattle or something like that? But no, that's what I want to do. I want to fly Savannah into New Zealand. And that'll be the first time that we meet. Wouldn't that be romantic? You know, meeting for Lake Wanaka, the autumn, a New Zealand autumn, you know? Kind of be like a whole When Harry Met Sally, but it would be like When Tom Met Savannah. And boy, that would be good Tom TV. That would be really, really good Tom TV. So anyway, now I just got to figure out what I'm going to do. I've got a year, not a year, but I have until February. Christmas, you know, Christmas stockings. I'm going to have Christmas on the beach. It's going to be Christmas. It's going to be the middle of summer. It's going to be full-blown summertime for Christmas and New Year's. I'll have Christmas on the beach. Fireworks over the Sydney Harbor Bridge. You know, when you're back home in America and you're waking up on the day, but you know, December 31st, you're like waking up at 8 in the morning and you're watching TV and you see them celebrating, you know, New Year's like hours ahead of you. That'll be me. I'll be celebrating New Year's way before all of you. You'll be watching the fireworks over Sydney Harbor Bridge while you're having your breakfast. And I will be there. I think so. But anyway, I got to figure it out. Boy, you know, it's interesting now. You know, I think to myself, well, do I go rent an apartment for 6 months? Maybe I go rent a furnished apartment in Sydney, or maybe south of Sydney, or maybe I go back to Fruit and Loop. You know, maybe I go back to Fruit and Loop, and maybe Fruit and Loop could have babies. You know, maybe they could have little Cheerios or something like that. But anyway, what a boy. You know, when I planned this trip to Australia, I never ever would have imagined how it would unfold. You know, I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I'd be over here in Australia on the other side of the world, and people would be tearing down statues of George Washington, for Christ's sake. You know, what the hell did George Washington ever do? Okay, so he cut down a cherry tree. You know, did he? Yeah, I cannot tell a lie. I think that was George Washington, wasn't it? I cannot tell a lie. You know, I cut down the cherry tree or something like that. You know, and for them to, you know, for them to be tearing down statues of George Washington, who's next? Benjamin Franklin? Are they going to be tearing down Benjamin Franklin? You know, I mean, God, it just crazy, absolutely crazy. But anyway, so time to get on with my night. I hope everybody out there has a good of a day as possible. All right, so take good care. You know what? I should give a shout out. I should give credit where credit's due. My little sister Monica, bless her heart. Little sister Monica with Down syndrome. She's been in the equivalent of a care home, well, almost not a convalescent home, but she's been in a nursing home now since this whole thing started. And she's been estranged from the family, and she couldn't understand why none of the family was coming to visit her. You know, she was in this, they were taking good care of her, you know, but she was in this place, and she had a phone next to her bed, so, you know, the family could call her and everything. But bless her little heart, they're moving her today. They're moving her to what promises and what looks to be like a wonderful facility just on the other side of Cleveland. And you know, the way that my siblings and my mother have come together to care for and to love my sister is just phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. The way that the love that my siblings you know, have bestowed upon my sister. I'm sure that my dad is looking down from heaven right now, and he must just be he just must be smiling from ear to ear, you know, as he's asking Jesus whose move is it, you know, on the chessboard. But I wonder if my dad's beaten Jesus at all. I don't know, you know, I don't know. I wonder, maybe my dad's gotten Jesus in a fool's mate, you know, with the chess. Wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, all right, folks, have a great day. All right, take good care, and as they say down here in Australia, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Take care.